Hello, everyone. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. I've got a quick update on Saturday snow for hunters across the region. There could be some accumulation. I'll have the latest on that, and we'll look ahead as well at a more significant winter weather event that could be setting up its shop here in the Northern Plains next week. Your forecast begins right now.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, one thing to know is that there's a chance of snow on Saturday. Now, it's not here in Fargo. Fargo has a chance at seeing a couple of sprinkles. As you go west and toward the Devil's Lake Basin, there's a chance for some flakes mixing in, but we could see some accumulation of snow. And these are areas where there's at least a 50% chance of seeing an accumulation of an inch or more. So it does look like we could have a couple of pockets of snow working its way from Glendive, Montana, Beach, North Dakota, Medora, north into the oil patch, Williston, Watford City, Crosby, all the way out to the Bottineau Hill area. And that is what the National Weather Service's risk of seeing snow accumulations looks like when we take a look at that forecast for Saturday. So Saturday, if you're hunting out to the west, that's what you need to keep in mind. We'll go over some hour-by-hour details here right now as we take a look at some of the very latest models coming in with regards to the system this upcoming weekend. So here we go. Let's pull up a model here that'll go out. No, let's go to this one here. This is an American model. What we'll look at is the forecast for the timing of the onset of showers of rain and snow. Let's put North Dakota so you can see it. Okay, heading through your Friday, this system is going to be quiet here. We're going to see south winds, and it's a big-time warm-up. Once again, morning fog is in your forecast. If you have a question on Hutch's weather, we interact. Jot it down in the comments below, and let me know what you're thinking about this snow. Do you give it a, yes, I'm ready, or, hey, hold it off, Hutch? I've heard a little bit from both. Now, as we go through Friday night and into Saturday morning, things are quiet. So if you're hunting Saturday, things start out quiet. But by the time we get to daybreak, a few sprinkles of rain, some southeast winds, and temperatures that'll be very mild in our area. Look what's going on in the big sky country of Montana. Flakes are flying in blue. There could be some mixed precipitation. And on the northwest side of the low pressure center is where we'll have the better chance at seeing some snow. Now, this is going to paint the area with some snow on grassy areas. So for the hunt, not bad. Now, this is going to make its way through Saturday evening. So this is Saturday, really at dinner time. So around that 6 o'clock time frame, the snow showers will be moving through places like Minot, up through Bottineau, out west in Dickinson, maybe even as far to the west or east rather as Taylor or Richardson. Now, as we continue through the night, that shower of snow activity pushes into the Bottineau area and could possibly snow in Towner County, Walhalla and Langdon, all the way out towards Cavalier and Pembina. As it's moving more in a northerly direction, you stand a better chance at seeing it in places like Winkler and Winnipeg, our neighbors to the north of the international border. Now, how much snow are we talking on this model? I just showed you the National Weather Service's risk. Let's take a peek at this. Pardon me while I reach for the sky. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look at snowfall accumulation potential. This is model guidance. Hutch says it's just guidance. No single model does a precise job every time of pinpointing where this is going to go, but models have been fairly consistent over the last 3 days of a chance of some flaky weather in northeast Montana into north central North Dakota. This matches pretty closely with what the National Weather Service was thinking. Some of these higher amounts here where you see the pinks, what this means, many areas will see a trace to an inch. Many areas will see a trace to an inch of wet snowfall. It won't last too long, but in a few areas where we see the dark blues and pinks, we could see up to 3 inches, and dare I say, isolated spots here when I drag my mouse over the top of this, showing that the potential is there for 5 to 7 inches. Now, this is a model. It's still outside of 2.5 days, so it's still a ways out there, and we'll refine this forecast. So this is something to keep in mind if you're hunting out there in the northwestern part of the state. Now, just for comparison's sake, we'll go ahead and pop up another model here that's going out this far and see what it says for the track of snow. And again, these models have a very similar outlook for the location of the track. Northwest North Dakota has the best chance as we go through Sunday morning time frame, and this one heads it out towards more like Brandon and Estevan as opposed to Winkler and Manitoba. So a little bit more of a westerly trajectory to that. Now let me take a look at one more model just because we can, and let's see if we have fun looking at this one. Whoop! Similar story. So what does Hutch think? I think this, with a southeast wind, we're going to have very warm air here in the valley, and that's going to push back up, ramp up over the top of the colder air and create some snow. I think the best chance of snow will be in the elevated terrain of Montana and northwestern parts of North Dakota, like we're seeing here. A few of us may see a few flakes mixing in the Devil's Lake Basin, and that's Hutch's hunch, and you got that right here. Okay, now I do want to share with you, and after this, we'll look at that bigger storm that's coming for next week. But first of all, have you heard of Hutch's Weather, kids? If you have a young person who's between the ages of 9 and 18 and they want to help Hutch do the weather, this is a view of today's young man, Blake. Blake Goulet got up there and did a marvelous job as we talked isobars. Check out this short clip.
That's right, and they're very close together. And where do you see isobars that are farther apart?
Like this one here and this one.
That is so good. That is exactly right. Now, we did not practice this. Let me show you. You did the test, and the next graphic will show us where the isobars are closer. So,
all right, he did a wonderful job, didn't he? That's Blake. If you want to see the whole clip, head over to hutchesweather.com. Hutchesweather.com right here. We'll take a quick detour to show you where that is. You go to hutchesweather.com, you're going to see this page. If I happen to be going live, guess what? It's going to let you know. So no matter where you are or when you're there, you can check out hutchesweather.com for the very latest in your weather, including when I'm on live. And as we go down to the bottom, you'll see some of the most recent videos that we've done here, but you can always catch the latest Weather Kids by clicking on the Weather Kid button. Not only that, I'd love to have you sign your youngsters up if they're interested in learning more about the weather. It's an awesome time, and I enjoy it completely. And here is a look at Blake's tape right there, along with some others that have been recently Weather Kids, thanks to my fine sponsors at Luther Family Ford, doing the weather right from the showroom floor there, learning a lot. All of us are, including me. Okay, now let's take a look at what's going on with regards to the extended forecast. And I want to throw a couple hollers out there to you. Here, let's go ahead and put the Facebook stream up here, and we'll show you that we do have, well, let me move this over just a little bit. Maybe you can see. Okay, maybe not. So it does look like we're watching from Park Rapids. Cheryl Todd's watching from Roseau. Badger, where is this big time snow next week going to hit? People are saying that their joints, Kathy, your joints are hurting. Indeed, when we go through big time weather changes and pressure changes, sometimes our body can tell us that that change is on its way. Thanks so very much to everybody's comments here. Thank you. Thank you, sponsors, says Michael, and I second that. To all of my sponsors, thank you very, very much, because it makes Hutch's Weather possible. Now, let's go into overdrive here as we take a look at next week's weather system. We're going to start with a quick peek at the European model. The European model is the one I like to look at when we're talking beyond 3 to 5 days. And here we go. Here's your weekend shot of whiskers right there. Snowy whiskers in the northwest quadrant of the state. And the European model concurs with the system that we were just looking at, the couple shorter range models. Those have a little bit more detail as far as resolution goes. From my elbow comes this system out of the southern Rockies here in New Mexico and the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma. It's going to bring heavy rain, sharp thunderstorms through the central plains, and boom, here it comes and sets up shop in the eastern Dakotas. Now with this track, it's all depending upon the temperature of the air and the time of the day this time of year. That's all going to play a role. This is in the morning on Tuesday. So Tuesday, things change. As we wake up, we'll see rain. It will mix with and change to snow. The European model shoots this northward fairly quickly, and it's out of here by the time we get to Wednesday morning. So Tuesday morning rain, but it could be snow out to the west for the majority of the event. So the European model says snow out west is the most likeliest scenario there. Let's take a look at what the American model says real quickly, and I'll give you my 2 cents. And I also did a thorough examination of this forecast from the 4 different models, not just 2 like I'm showing here on my YouTube page. So search Hutch's Weather on YouTube. You can see my channel there. I'd love to have you subscribe, by the way. Check this out. This is the latest with the American model, and it's definitely different. It has the timing the same. Starting Tuesday in the morning is rain, but look at where the snow is. Northern parts of the valley, northwest Minnesota, and windy as well at the same time. So a couple of different solutions there. What will happen? Likely something in between. But as we get a little closer, we'll have some more perspective. Now, I do encourage you to check out that YouTube video because I talk snow potential. 4 models, many are agreeing that anywhere from a trace of snow goes, go out on a plank, would you, Hutch Johnson? Okay, I will. I'm going to walk the plank and say, Some models are saying over 6 inches of snow from this system with wind. Okay, so it could impact some travel. We don't know where yet. We don't know for sure that's what the snowfall potential will be, because temperatures play a huge role this time of the year and can turn what looks like snow now into a rain event. And we've all seen that happen. So before we get too excited, we'll just let you know Hutch has got his eyes on this for you, and you can get the latest on hutchesweather.com. Now let's look at your forecast. 7-day planner. Tomorrow morning, fog again. And if you want to see the fog model, let me know. Hi, Katie from Macintosh. Good to have you on board as well. From Jamestown, Katie, good to see you. Deborah joining from Spiritwood. All right. You know what? Stutzman County well represented here. Watching from NC, North Carolina, or North Charleston. Jeraine, thank you so much for watching. It's a pleasure to have you on board here on Hutch's Weather. In Fargo, temperatures will be working their way this weekend up to 51 degrees. It looks like a balmy one on Saturday here, but I told you a chance of snow in the oil patch out there as we look off to the west for hunters, mainly late. Bonnie, thanks for sharing this. And if you have somebody you want to let know, tag their name in the comments right here, and will get shared this video as well. And I am going to post a tag to the video that I have going on the YouTube channel as well, so you can check that out. Now, Saturday, snow in northwest North Dakota, 51 degrees here, and it will cool us off, that system, as it works its way through. I think we could see a few very late night showers here in Fargo, but just sprinkles. This is not a drought buster at all. Now, Monday, look at this. It warms up before the big event, that big storm on Tuesday. We will have to refine this, but I will say this, and this is Hutch's hunch. Hutch's hunch is something that gives you a heads up of what to watch for after about 30 years of forecasting here in the region. And I will say this, boy, if we get areas that have 6 inches of snow after Wednesday's system moves through, then 25 is going to be way too warm. Fargo, I think it's right on the money, because I wouldn't put it here if I didn't think it was going to happen that way. However, in areas that do get more than, say, 4 to 6 inches of snow, I think we'll see our first near 0-degree temperatures in the morning as we go into Thursday morning and Friday morning, as high pressure builds in behind that. You heard it here, Hutch's hunch. I want to keep you ahead of the game. That's what we need to watch out for. I don't know where the heaviest snow will fall, but wherever it is, we're going to look at some mighty cold snapping of temperatures as we head into the middle and latter portion of next week. All right, we will close with your current conditions. Right now, this is what we're looking at for temperatures across the area, and I got to tell you, it's balmy, but we did have that fog across the region throughout the day. So as we take a look at the regional picture here, let's go ahead and zoom on out as we see 37 in Grand Forks, 39 Fargo, 39 up in Warroad, and 39 out here in the Sidney, Montana area. Look at all the 30s. No big surprise there, but as we zoom in just a little closer, we see Jamestown 37 and Minneapolis, St. Paul at 46 degrees at this particular hour. Looking at the satellite and radar, the infrared satellite has been out to lunch throughout the day, not locking into the fog that was set up. And there is a chance of fog tonight setting up in the valley once again, and in parts of eastern parts of our viewing area, if you will, Hutch's viewing area here into Minnesota. Spotty, patchy fog will be possible out to the west, but there is more cloud cover that's higher and colder. That's what you're seeing up here with the infrared satellite over places like Manitoba and Winnipeg. It's gray here in the FM area, or it has been throughout the day. Looking out to the west, here's where our system is coming from for the weekend. That's going to blossom in southern Montana and Wyoming and bring that chance of Saturday flakiness for hunters out there to the west. That's a look at the current conditions. Let me see if we have some visibility issues going on right now. Let me just double click on this and we'll see. Now, where we have the reds, visibility is reduced a little bit. So we're talking about 10 miles or less for many of these areas. But look at this. Ooh, we do have some areas in the Devil's Lake Basin here that appear to have some potential for fog. This goes from the James River Valley through Jamestown, Carrington, New Rockford, Maddock, also up towards Starkweather, Rock Lake, and Candu have reduced visibility. And Hutch can take you right now for a quick peek at the DOT cams in that area. Why not? You know what? this is how Hutch can change gears at a moment's notice with this live broadcast and the streaming setup that I have set up right here. So now let's take a quick peek at a couple of cameras in the areas impacted by lower visibility and see what it looks like. And I know it's dark. Sometimes these cameras don't do the greatest job at night, but this one does. You can see more of a hazy look to it, so the visibility is certainly far enough for us to see from the camera into town there with the help of the lights. Now let's go down south towards New Rockford and see what we got. Oh my, that's some soupy McSuperson right there. That's a highly technical meteorological term, and it can really cause for some tongue twisting. So we do have some areas of dense fog out there. Would not be surprised to see a dense fog advisory issued by the National Weather Service for this in some spots as we go through the overnight hours. Let's see. Here we go. I'm going to take a quick peek at that too, just to double check. We have no fog advisory at this particular time from the National Weather Service, but I can tell you our visibility is reduced, and it's likely reduced to under a mile in a few spots. This one over a mile. We can see quite a ways down the road here as we're looking in. Let me see where we're looking at. This is Glenfield down there in south central parts of North Dakota. So reduced visibility in a few spots taking place right now as a result of that. And it's in North Dakota. There have been clouds and gray skies over Minnesota with recent rainfalls to nearly a half an inch to an inch over the last 48 hours in that area. So we'll be looking for that. All right. Again, thanks so very, very much for taking the time to check out my YouTube video. Let me pop up the details on where you can find that right here, and I'll put it in the comments for you. And also, I would love to let you know that, pardon me while I do two things at once here. Let's see. Okay, let's go with here and here. Sorry about that. Just getting the right video. All right. Yeah, this is it. Okay, sorry about that. I had to get the link and put it in the comments for you here so you all have that. Now, on that YouTube channel video, I go over 4 models, 4 snowfall potential maps, and I talk about why I think what I think is going to happen right now and what we know and what we don't know. And it's a nice little rundown there. So check that video out, please. And check out my Weather Kid videos as well on hutchesweather.com. And as always, I invite you to share your photos that you upload to hutchesweather.com. And we'll close with a couple looks at that right now. We've gotten photos in from those of you across the area. And you know what? Sometimes you just gotta join. If you can't beat them, join them, like the kitty cat here, enjoying some time. Gloomy days calls for bright lights. It looks like that's what's going on there. And Beth Ann, thank you very much for uploading that very colorful photo. And in Detroit Lakes, Julia says, you know what? That is a snow fence, and they are ready for the snow. This is one of those things that slows down the wind just enough to cause the drifting to happen near the fence instead of where you want to shovel, so you can reduce your shovel trouble. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful Thursday night. We'll see you on Friday for more facts on flakes in your forecast first. Always first, right here. Have a great night.